Oh, okay. Yeah, I see how it is. Let me, yeah, just restart. But there is a code which you sent me actually some time ago too. You mentioned that here's the code I have been playing more Ash, something like that. We can also start with that code if you want, or if there's a better one, we can start with another one then.
Yeah, I think we'll have to because I don't think I'm gonna be able to access the history. It's just freezing my game constantly. It's just done it again.
Okay, okay. So is it okay if we start with a one which you sent me then?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this way. Look to screen share. Okay, I'm screen sharing currently. Let me know if you see my stream.
Alright, I'm watching.
Okay. So regarding that map, what do you think you did well? What do you think you could have done better? Let's start with that.
On this map,
Yeah.
um, honestly, I feel like the map I didn't play that well. I was still like trying to figure out where I need to play, and
Mhm.
yeah, all of that angles are like quite separated from your team. And obviously, as Ash, you don't have like a whole lot of movement to be able to regroup. You only have that coach gun.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You want to be aware of the exact angles you take, so we don't want to be too isolated, right? But so the positioning was kind of difficult part here about this map,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. What do you think you did well though? If there's anything, of course.
I think I tried to make sure that I watched the flanks a lot,
Mhm.
as you'll see in the beginning, and then trying to keep people from flanking into my team by holding like the different flank angles, as
Okay.
well as trying to uh, punish people.
Okay. Can you also remind me what is your hero pool at the moment? So you're playing Ash, you're also playing Soldier, and what kind of characters you play as well? What are the
I also
characters?
play Cassidy.
We also play Cassidy. Okay. So here in specific, why did we choose to play Ash? Is it just because you're looking to practice her a little bit more, or is it
Yeah.
because of this map kind of team composition too?
I'm looking to practice Ash a bit more and kind of learn her kit, get used to it better, and
Mhm.
practice the aim. Like my aim's still, I'm still working on it with Ash. Probably see
Okay.
a couple whiffs, but for the most part, it's not too bad.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look how everything's gonna go. So you're choosing to have this angle here. Checking the angle, that is good. Looking for some early pressure on the Doomfist. Going for the Dynamite. I would say it was right. And then we have this angle here. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what was the exact reason for us to move from the angle here to sort of, well, it was kind of three steps. We went from here to there, and then we went inside the building there, exactly. So
They
what
they
was
had a
the
widow.
reasoning?
They had
Mhm.
a widowmaker, and I didn't want to give her a clear line of sight while I'm trying to shoot the other players because
Mhm.
I tend to find myself getting picked off by widows a lot, even in low
Yeah.
elo. They seem to have really good aim. I don't know. I die a couple of times to the widow
Yeah.
in this game.
I would say that's reasonable. Yeah, that is exact reason you want to look for whenever there's a Widowmaker. Usually, maybe also you can keep attention on the Hans as well because he's a long range character too. But a Widowmaker is definitely more threatening the
Yeah,
long
that's why I
range
was playing around
distances.
that middle pillar when the
Mm-hmm.
Hanzo was peeking me.
Okay.
Uh, Try to not stood still too much.
Yeah. That's reasonable. I would say the reasoning behind that positioning is good. So you're avoiding the line of sight of the Widowmaker, not picking her, and then you're also able to deal with this other threats this way. That is perfect. Okay, let's watch. Can do a little bit more. Now just looking for the leader in this area here. Yeah, still gotta be careful about the Widowmaker once she's gonna be in a fight, but for now you're good. Okay, looking for dynamites here. You know that the Widowmaker got two picks. Okay, so at this moment looking to move back. A little bit more. Okay.
my coach gun and
Mm-hmm.
died.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I think it's just more about recognizing when it's time to fall back. Obviously, the coach gun mechanics could help us a little bit more. I would also pay attention to exact moments when some additional triggers, let's call it that, when you want to move back and like why you want to move
Yeah,
back.
I
So if
didn't notice. I didn't notice until like a little later on that the widow killed 3 people on my team.
mm-hmm. So if we play this clip around here, what would be the best time for us to look to go back and why? Yeah, so we kind of can play it. Yeah, obviously we can look at the kill feed maybe, and then kind of identify when we should move back. So
Probably as soon as the Arista died.
probably, yeah. I think it's the main trigger in the most cases you want to look for, because your tank is designed to grab the enemy team attention. Whenever the tank is alive, it's usually a good time for you to do things. Obviously there are some other exceptions when you don't have to look at the tank, but mainly it's about that kind of, your tank is aggressive, he can be aggressive, and now that is just the main trigger for you to be aware of. So as soon as this happens, want to start moving back. So it's also puts you in a situation where you're a little bit less under pressure, and then you can move back quicker. And then because you're doing that, then you can position yourself somewhere a little bit better, look for those shots, poke shots still, and still stay alive. I think it's just that, kind of paying attention to timing slightly more.
Yeah.
Okay. How we solve the timing problem is with the paying attention to kill field, it seems like so far. Yeah. Okay. Now we are resetting. That's fine. Okay. Look into dynamite as well. Also, how do you usually use your dynamite? What are you usually looking for with the dynamite? What is the thought process behind it?
I use my dynamite as a kind of like a zoning tool, but also I try to look for big groups so I can build my bob.
Makes sense. Okay. So big groups to build your ultimate. And then also trying to get what was the second again? What was the second
Uh,
thing? Sorry.
Trying to uh, zone out people from a certain spot. So like the Hanzo was in there, so I wanted to
Okay.
pressure him away.
Makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Let's keep watching. Okay, paying attention to Hanzo was a big deal as well. Whenever you put attention towards people taking angles because they are more scary, you need to shut down them. So this way you achieve better map control. Oh, currently here though. So, once we start the fight around here, yeah. So we know that the Widowmaker is in this spot, yeah, like on this map. We mentioned that we usually don't want to be in the Widowmaker's line of sight, but sometimes there are also maybe no choices for you, like, but the big Widowmaker. Definitely, there are mostly cases when you still can avoid the Widowmakers potentially, right? But why it's so really risky to even double peek from the same position here as well. If you think about it, yeah, like right now the Widowmaker knows where we are, and then we're gonna peek this angle again. You kind of do it slightly later, but that is really dangerous. Why?
Uh, Shin still knows I'm there.
Yeah. And I think that is the main thing you want to look for whenever you're playing against Widowmaker, especially. Obviously, making sure that sometimes she cannot kill you, it's good. Or let's say you want to fight versus them, then you always want to pick from slightly different angle. We don't want to pick from the same spot. Yeah, so like around here, you're gonna see her putting her crosshair in that doorway here because she knows that you're there. So she kind of also shut there as well. But then later, because she knows that you're there, she's still gonna keep the crosshair in that place. So we want to just pick from slightly different angle potentially. And in this case, where we can go then, yeah. So let's say we don't want to pick the Widowmaker, like we picked her one time, but then the second after that. So it's gonna be around here, basically. Yeah, kind of around here. What do we want to do in this case? How do we
Uh,
pick that different angle?
go to the right.
Go to the right. I would say reasonable. Are there any other options?
I mean, I wouldn't go to the left simply
Maybe.
because they have a Doomfist,
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
it would be quite easy for me to get separated from my team.
Yeah, I would say so too. Potentially, just it's nice to know that you can also do that, but because you're playing against the Diver, that becomes pretty difficult for you to be isolated. But if there's no Diver option, we could maybe try to do that. So
Yeah,
definitely, the going on the right side is, I would say, the best. Just by applying this rule, it would be pretty easy for you to like do something in the fight. Okay, so we just want to avoid double peeking scenarios a little bit more, it seems like, and then let's continue watching. I really like how we pay attention to the angles though, so you're checking for angles, you also do pay attention to the angles just in terms of pressuring people with your normal shots too, so that is good. What was the thought process behind this dynamite there? What we were looking to do with that?
um, I was looking to pressure out anyone that was in that building.
Mhm. Okay, okay. That makes sense. It's just my question is only what is the concern about the dynamite? So like, do we exactly know that there are people in that building as well, or
I think I knew the Hanzo was in the building, but I
okay?
didn't know exactly where he was.
Okay, so what do you think? Wouldn't it be better to maybe wait to know where the Hanzo is and then trying to pressure later? What do you think?
Yeah.
Or yeah, what do you think? Do you, because I actually am. There is a thing which we can connect to. We mentioned with the timing that we want our team to be able to capitalize on what we're doing. Yeah, sort of. Let's say your Risa is doing something aggressive. If you're looking to do something aggressive as well in the area where she is, well, because she can follow up, that's perfect. Maybe you can also zone out the enemies. That's also really good. It's just more like, first of all, because you wait, it will be easier for your team to capitalize on the pressure because they are maybe, let's say, this Hanzo is going a little bit more aggressive, and then it becomes easier for these people to follow up. Or we can also say that we it's just easier for you to get value. Yeah, it's kind of, we
Yeah.
want to know where the enemy is because your cooldown's pretty long. We don't want to throw it right away. Usually want to wait for the enemy team to make a move or something. Like, let's say now the Hanzo is making a move, and what is gonna happen is if you shoot the Hanzo here, potentially that can be followed, or that will stop the Hanzo from doing something actively in the area. He will have to kite, but it also really uncomfortable for him to kite this way because he will, it will require a significant amount of time to do something to do that. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking it just kind of seems like those small things like that. We probably don't even have to pay attention to the team compositions that much in this time. It's just mostly about those details. Okay, so also notice we're taking the duel with the Widowmaker. Yeah, so that is exactly what I'm talking about. That is really dangerous. Well, you still win that duel, but potentially trying to just at least, let's say you want to pick her here, trying it to do in slightly different way. So you replace your crosshair a little bit more. Yeah, maybe at least like doing picking like this. Yeah, or just trying to also, like I mentioned, trying to do this as well. Yeah, that is really dangerous to pick from one spot because um the Widowmaker will keep the crosshair in that place.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate the confidence though, with taking that duel. It's fine.
It's always scary.
It's definitely scary. You just wanna. It's the right way to say it. Also, is you don't want to take for your duels, and if there's something what can be additional helper, such as you taking slightly different angle. If you can look to do that, then make sure you do that. Maybe you can also take fights at a little bit more favorable range, like you did at the first point. You used a little bit shorter range angles against the Widowmaker. That is also a good solution. And the mechanics part with dynamites also should be we should practice that a little bit more. In terms of mechanics, by the way, I'm not sure if we discussed it in our initial session. How do you usually warm up? Yeah.
Um, I to be fair, I'm a big believer in A10's way of
Hmm.
thinking about it. Like you
Oh
warm
yeah,
up by playing,
yeah. You can warm up by
like not
playing.
really doing
Mhm.
Kovacs or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't need coax, I would say. It's just really beneficial. Like, of course, definitely playing is a big helper, but also treat it like this way whenever you are doing certain exercises, just like doing competitive or even like in sports, doing the slight warm up to make sure you are well, your muscles are just like warmed up, yeah, for the exact movements you do. I highly recommend just investing 10-15 minutes, just 10-15 minutes in a try hard FFA. If you know what it is, it's just basically a game mode where you play against 12 other players, and because you're gonna play like against those players and you're in a situation under pressure, like this try hard FFA, for example, if you're in a situation under pressure in those games, then it will allow you to like warm up just a little bit more and also try to practice those mechanics. Why this is also good is because you can invest time in those try hard FFA between the matches too. Because sometimes there's like, I mean, obviously when you look into queue, there's a downtime, so you can use that to kind of also maybe practice certain mechanics, especially if you're learning like a new character, trying to play that a little bit more or something. That is also beneficial. Or maybe you just want to keep everything in shape. That is also good. Just trying to do a little bit more of this is big helper, I would say. That does it
Yeah,
make sense with this tryhard FFA?
yeah,
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and definitely playing is the best thing you can do as well. I wouldn't recommend doing core walks. Honestly, yes, for certain things, Kovacs is good, but it's really, really specific. Like, let's say you want to learn how to aim with how to do the flicks from the right to the left really fast or something, like really specific movements, then Kovacs might be good. I'm also not too familiar with like practicing Kovacs though, but I can 100% say like it's more beneficial if you're looking to do something too specific, like really specific, which
yeah,
is yeah, generally speaking, for the most players, it's not even the case. You don't have to practice that to reach top of 100. You don't need Kovacs either. Okay. Well, I think we had a timestamp somewhere around there. Give me a second. So it was yeah, I think that was exactly when we stopped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so practicing the mechanics of hitting dynamite, of course, is beneficial. Like, let's say, in those cases, yeah, like wanna get the Doomfist or something, and if you do a little bit more FFA, it's just, I think, gonna be slight more bigger helper for you to do things.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think about that duel here? What what do we what our thought process here should be? What do you think? Should we be taking this duel right away? Or should we be doing something else here? If yes, then why? What's your opinion?
I reckon I should have backed up to the right, considering they're all pushed through now.
Hmm. I think so too. So there is something what I can also look to pay attention to is looking at it this way. I'm just thinking because okay, actually no. I think we can just continue kind of using this rule, such as whenever we are fighting versus the one-shot characters, trying to change your angle slightly. That is good. I'm also thinking we can talk about the kill box a little bit more. Oh, by the way, are you okay with just doing a water review today, or do you also want to maybe look to potentially do a game and look to implement the concepts? I would say since we had our last session was pretty long time ago, I think it's okay if we do the entire review here, just water review. But what's your opinion? Do you also want to try to maybe do the live session, or what do you think?
Um, Honestly, I'm fine either way.
Mhm.
I feel like if we didn't do the live review today, I could always do it on Thursday.
Yeah, we can try first of all. I think do the water review now, and it's okay if we like look to do the live on Thursday. Maybe that's all right. Okay. So far we have this spot here, and then picking the enemy later. Okay, so this one is interesting. Mm. So kind of waiting for the pressure from your tank, and then you're looking to pick this angle here. You know that the card is around this place. Okay, that makes sense to me, I guess. Um, hmm. This one is interesting. What's your opinion? Is there anything we could have done to avoid the deaths in this case?
Um, so I didn't know that the Doomfist was there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And I kind of pushed up with my team, so I
Mm-hmm.
kind of I'm not 100% sure what I could have really done differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe push from a different angle, but then I suppose hindsight's a beautiful thing,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you know there's a Doomfist that's gonna come slamming around the corner.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I would say there is just a thing you can be aware of is whenever you are looking to pressure from a certain spot. So it's kind of looks like, so if I look at it like this way, uh you are coming from here. Like this is basically your spawn. We can consider this red line is your save rotation. So let's say something really bad happens to you, something really like risky, something like somebody shooting you. Then usually the rule is trying to make sure you are able to have that safe rotation and fall back towards the towards your spawn just in case. So that is where here, let's say something happens to you when you pick, is your thought process should be I shouldn't move towards the potential locations where it's difficult for me to go towards the spawn, but I'd rather move to location where it's yeah, what I mean is you rather move to location towards the where it's easier for you to go towards the spawn just in case. Why? Because that is where you expect your team to be and kind of support you with the healing and everything. And also there are also some additional things such as if the enemy team goes on you, you can always kite comfortably, but we cannot kite from those spots that well. That is really niche kind of. But as a general rule, that's always nice to implement. Whenever you're trying to kite, or something, you know that you cannot peek anymore for obvious reasons because the Widowmaker is on you. Just trying to kite towards the safe rotation first. Yeah, maybe like let's say the Widowmaker done the shot on you, and then we can instantly coach gun and hide around the corner or something. But it also makes sense that we do this. It's just I think kind of the really niche thing which can avoid this kind of things. I don't think it's too big. But yeah, this is something what can potentially help you to avoid those kind of situations where the Doomfist kills you. Obviously, he also dies for it, which is good.
Yeah, at least that happens.
Yeah, yeah,
It's nice
exactly.
that Doomfist can be punished, unlike a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. How about Bob? Okay. Have a nice angle here. Into dynamite. It's okay. Now we have this top high ground here. Also, that's also fine. Okay. So now I think it's kind of connected to what we mentioned before in the first point. Yeah, remember we mentioned we need to know when it's the right time to fall back, when it's the
Yeah.
right time to kind of kite. So here, if we play this clip, yeah, if I play this clip again, maybe we can also do it from your perspective. So we coach from your POV here. You can tell me what would be the probably the best time for you to look to fall back a little bit more.
Um,
I would say it's just right around here, kind of. Right there. But why?
they're all there.
Okay, they're all there. What is really important? What was the most important at the first point? Why the enemy team they were not distracted with you at first? What was there on the first point to stop them?
Tank.
Tank was there. See, it's kind of the same thing here. When the tank is active in the fight, he's distracting the enemy team a lot. Well, for obvious reasons, because he's alone. Obviously, he's the one who's gonna get shot at, right? So that is something to keep an eye on. I would say, for that exact reason, because your tank is alive, try to use that. Yeah, so using that in terms of the pressure, so that is good. But as soon as the tank is dead, really make sure you have that safe position instantly. I'll obviously, because of the numbers as well, it's something you want to be aware of too, because they have really high numbers. Maybe you probably can even right there decide that, oh, my tank is in a really not that safe spot. Obviously, you still capitalize on him dragging the attention because you shoot in the mercy. But as soon as you realize, oh, okay, it seems like my tank is dead 100%, I need to kite a little bit more because they have numbers. So the tank is about to die. I need to kite instantly. So yeah, this is when the thought process should be made. So you would be probably around the corner here already, and then you would be somewhere there. If somebody chases you, then you have the Genji to support you. Other players potentially coming back from spawn as well. That is the thought process, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
Mhm.
I have managed to get the replay code of the new Green Street
Oh,
game.
okay. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at that then.
Okay. I'll send it to you. Hang on.
Yeah, sure. So far, if we just summarize, playing against one-shot characters, timing things, so knowing when to kite, and making sure you have a safe rotation towards the spawn. Let's call it this. Trying to kite towards this safe rotation, so towards the spawn. If something weird happens to you, that is also really beneficial. Okay,
Alright, I sent you the code.
yeah, I see that. hmm So, what do you think about that map in specific? What do you did well, first of all?
I think my positioning was a lot better.
Mhm.
Obviously, since we last spoke, we talked about like the angles I should play at and
Mhm.
when I should be taking those angles. And
Okay.
I tried to really focus on getting some crossfire involved as well to help us win, and I felt like it worked pretty well. It helped that my team was actually uh, quite good as well. So we kind of steamrolled a little bit, but
That's nice. That's nice. Okay, let's take a look. So you tried to create the crossfire. That went well. Is there anything what you had some issues with?
um, in this game, I'm not quite sure.
Mhm.
I think I I think it was generally just a team diff. To be honest, I don't know.
Okay.
Um, we didn't really struggle that much at all, but I felt like the main thing I wanted to
Game
focus
is
on
so
was
short.
the angles I was taking. Yeah, we didn't really lose a single fight.
Okay. Yeah, specifically for angles. Okay, we can discuss that. Well, okay. The angle here, that's nice. Creating crossfire, taking an off angle. You always have the potential rotation towards the spawn, which you can take as well, like the save rotation, like I mentioned. So this is fine. This looks good. Okay. Oh, also, just in general, potentially, like that, especially for Thursday, if we are looking to review a little bit more, you can definitely save the games where, first of all, you played well, but it felt problematic to implement certain concepts. Like maybe that was problematic for you to implement what we talked about today, like playing against one-shot characters or something, we can look to watch that. Or if there's something else, we can also watch that too. Just in general, if there are no games where it was problematic for you to implement the concepts, then always send the games where it felt like you played well, but it was kind of close. And those games, yeah, we still can take a look at the angles though. It's just because obviously sometimes if it's too one-sided, it's not too much to learn. Sometimes, yeah, like because
Uh,
the
I just included this because I tried to implement what we talked about in the last session,
Perfect.
and
Perfect. Yeah. No,
it
it's
seemed
just
to
for the
work.
future. It's okay. Like this type of thing is also can work. Yeah, so you just look into pressure the tracer, that's fine. Completely deny her there. We have the nice angle still. The dynamite is good. Mm-hmm. Yep. Can look to reposition slightly towards the bridge later, but it's actually the angle is good. We still can able to shoot the hog. Now, you need to look to setup. Yeah, setup before the fight starts. So being in a brawl phase, like you mentioned, we need to have a nice angle, which we do. I think this angle is pretty decent. Okay, now we notice that the Kiriko, well, we cannot see them, I think, yet. It's just, we have the angle here, which is nice. We prepared for the brawl phase. Shooting an enemy team there, responding with your coach gun, because if somebody pressures you, you can always kind of push them back, and then kite as well. That is nice. That is good. Yeah, the way you did everything here is nice. Just be aware of the hook slightly a little bit more. Potentially here you wanna maybe look to bait it first and then peek, but that's fine. It's just the same rule applies when you're playing against one-shot characters. If they know where you are, then try to repeat from slightly different angle. Or there's one more additional thing you can look for, is to make sure they use their shot. Yeah, like somebody maybe baited the shot, like the hog hook is baited, then you can look to pick. So like right
Yeah,
now the Widowmaker no oh sorry, the hog knows.
I seen the hog hook onto the card.
Okay. Yeah, so it's basically like this, yeah. It's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah,
This is good though. Angle here is nice. Okay. We're going to pressure this guy. He's alone now. It's just about target priority of the shooting the mower first. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fine. Early pressure from this angle too. That's good. Now Hog knows that you're there, but we just gotta be aware of that in case he's gonna go on us. It's fine. I'm using Bob here. Yeah, I think that's also looks fine. Oh, just potentially something you can think about is slightly, well, having slightly better angle when you pressure this area is, well, I think this is a pretty decent, just in case though, potentially leaning towards the corner. I think actually you don't have to lean towards the corner. It's just something to keep in mind if the fight is going to be kind of even. Like let's say now when the fight just starts, we maybe have this position over here, so just in the case if somebody shoots you, you can always like hide this way, because right now if you are gonna get shot at, it's gonna take slightly more time, just slightly more time, just a little bit better quality of the corners. Yeah, so we look for pressure. Yeah, you look for the bob, and then instead of going forward, you go towards the left, and then you play on the ledge like this. And you also have pretty nice angle on these guys too. Does it make sense with the corner there?
yeah.
Okay. It's
There
just
was
mhm.
yeah. Obviously, this is like quite cut and dry. I just wanted
Yeah.
to uh, get your thoughts on the positioning sort of side to it. Like,
I think so far it looks nice. I think so far it looks nice. Yeah.
I think I definitely have a better concept on how to play on this map. I do have another replay code for a
hmm
Junkertown that I kind of got uh,
Yeah.
pretty
Sure. Mhm.
badly ruined on.
Huh. Well, we can take a look at that. Or also, if there's any game where if I like played well but still lost, also is fine. I think Chunky Town might be a good one for us for today at least, because we did discuss playing against one-shot characters. Probably you're gonna be playing against some sort of sniper there as well, so
Yeah.
we might review that too. Yeah, we can take a look at that. I think so far the angles looks good. It's just a little bit cleaner with the corners playing against the one-shot
Yeah, just
characters.
making sure that like even though you're winning, you want to keep the basics.
Hmm.
You don't want to get bad habits.
Yeah, it's just in case. So we getting pressured. We exactly have the corner. Let's just call it this for now. We have the corner, which allows us to kite towards the spawn comfortably, have that safe rotation comfortably. In most of cases, obviously there are also things like sometimes you can keep an angle and then you don't have to kite towards the spawn. But yeah, mostly it's just about
Yeah,
those
so I
kind of
did play a little bit
situations.
of Castity starting out on this, and then went to Soldier. I
Okay,
mean Ash.
why did we choose to play Cassidy here?
Um, Mostly because this was my first game playing, and obviously it's all quite close range here,
Okay, okay. So close
and I
range
felt
in terms of the map, or you have a close range team com? That's what you meant.
um in terms of like where we're fighting out on this spawn, because
Mm-hmm.
this first fight is usually quite hard to win
Mm-hmm.
with like their positioning.
Yeah, okay, that's reasonable. So you expect short range fights. That's why I playing Cassidy here. Okay, that's reasonable. Okay, looking to punish the Kiriko. That's fine. And then we have
Oh dear.
yeah, just trying to make sure we get with our shots. Yeah, but
Yeah, this
that's
is
what
my
I'm.
first game, so
Yeah, but that's what I mean with warm up as well. So basically,
yeah,
because your muscles are just warm, like in a sports, if you do lifting, that's why it's like of course you can do lifting without like warming up, but it just gives you slightly like better precise movements. If you invest in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's not that much, and then you can definitely aim slightly better. Because yes, of course you can warm up during the game too, but it's just we don't have to if we have the FFA.
yeah.
Maybe if you're in a queue, if the queues are
I
kind
think
of
I'll
long as well.
definitely,
Hmm.
I think I'll definitely try do FFA every time when I warm up and see the difference.
Sure, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Okay, so this is interesting. We're trying to potentially lean towards this angle here. Looking to punish the soldier there as well. Okay. Yeah, so what do you think about our position in this fight? So it kind of started out on this ledge, which I think is pretty decent. You have pretty decent sightlines, but then later we're kind of taking the fight from here, trying to punish the soldier. So what do you think?
Um, yeah, I don't think it was good positioning at all. I think from the moment I dropped off the high ground, I kind of just put myself in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm. So how we could play differently then? Like let's say, okay, it seems like you wanna maintain the high ground as well. Like I mentioned, when you drop from the high ground, you put yourself in a bad spot, but then like maybe probably run there. What your thought process should be? What do we should be doing in this case?
Um, if I pushed up onto the high ground earlier, I could have probably dealt with the soldier
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a lot faster before he became a threat to like the rest of my team and
Yes,
myself.
so we can deal with a soldier. I would agree. How you do that exactly? How your positioning then will look like?
So I would be up on that high ground there on yeah,
This.
yeah.
Okay. Now I agree. This is something you can look to do. So there are sort of multiple reasons why. Because you need to take angles yourself. Like I mentioned, yeah, with Ash, it's also the same. We wanna take those angles 100%, but you also wanna push the enemy team out from those angles. The one thing which is just gonna be challenging is rotating through those kind of areas. So like through these open areas.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that then? Well, what exactly the time you would be rotating? Because the problem is, let's say we rotate like instantly and nobody well, everybody's looking at us, it might become a little bit scary, right? Because we're moving from one open space to another. So how do we manage it then? What are
Uh,
exactly the right time to rotate, probably?
before the fight, maybe.
Before the
Um,
fight, possible. Let's say the enemy team are still able to look at you when you're looking to rotate. Like the entire enemy team will be basically be able to shoot you. Then how do you wanna what do you how you would manage it then?
um, I mean, I could drop off and go up the stairs at the right side, but
Hmm.
then I feel like I'd still be kind of out in the open along
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
right path as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so
Um,
this is the see like the thing about it. We just want to figure out how to make sure that tension is not gonna be on you, but it's gonna be on somebody else. So when you're moving up, like let's say even now, if you look at your when you're gonna move, look at the enemy team where the attention is gonna be. So you can look at like maybe a soldier. He's gonna be keeping a crosshair on you. Also here, I think actually let me see where the bastion is looking. He is also, well, now he's looking at the tank, but then now when the tank is not there, okay, he's just have the tank in front of him. So that is really good. I think it's more about this though. When the soldier is looking at us, like why he's looking at us exactly is because he's not distracted with anything. Or like around here, yeah, obviously he's also notices that you are you you are kind of by yourself there too. So the problem with this is usually just making sure you are rotating when your tanks are actively pressured, so you can notice, like for example, how Bastion was shooting the Orisa here, how like other people are also potentially, because they're looking to support the Bastion, they sort of indirectly distracted with that as well. So use your tank as an opportunity to rotate as well, I would say. Yeah, definitely use those times like a little bit more. Yeah, whenever the fight is gonna happen, like let's say now, for example, yeah, why the pressure is on you? Look at this exactly, like right there. Yeah, so the pressure is gonna be on you entirely. Why? Because your tank is not distracting yet. Yeah, but then when your tank is gonna be distracting, it's gonna happen like in some moments later. So around there, yeah, your tank is using his abilities. Your tank is trying to tank the bastion. Those are exactly moments when you can look to do those rotations. If you're going from one open side towards the another, open, kind of like a little bit open position from one corner to another. See what I mean with this? Yeah. So
yeah,
there should be a right time. Maybe sometimes you don't have to use your tank as distraction too, but mostly it's again about the tank. We did mention the tank a lot, but yeah, the tank is extremely important unit. So and yeah, obviously the right decision is to contest that position. I just think it's extremely important to mention the timing there, so you're not gonna get punished for it. When you realize your tank is kind of active and he got this initial pressure, then we're looking to do things. Your tank is dead, then we're looking to kite. You're looking to kind of play a little bit more passive, like I mentioned, looking to give up some space. Um, yeah, okay. So we're still playing Cassidy here. Okay, looking for the
yeah.
shots
I
on the
think
top.
I swapped in the second half
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
to
Do
Ash.
do you want to look at the Ash then, or
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
We didn't get very far with the payload on this.
Let's watch the Ash. Let's watch the Ash. So it's gonna be okay. Oh, okay. So you're swapping us for defense then. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's watch. What do you think about the defense overall? What do you think you could have done better in this case, in this defense?
I'm honestly not sure. This map's still like I don't know. I just don't know how to play in this area. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I've never really learned how to play this well.
Okay. Let's watch. I think the initial position here is all right. It seems like your team's taking close pawn fight though. So I think this is gonna be extremely important to mention, and it's still gonna be connected to the your tank. So notice where your tank is positioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your tank is gonna be taking the pressure in the certain spot in a certain area. Your tank gives you like an idea where the fight is gonna be, right? So at this moment, because of the tank's your tank's position, where do you expect the fight to be?
Um. Well, the fight was around the card,
Yeah, around the
quite
card,
close.
right? And then you also have people who are looking to control that area as well. So if your tank is distracting in this area around the card, then the storm can follow up, the Skiriko can follow up as well. And we ultimately, the as a fundamental idea, should be follow up on our tank's pressure as well. Time things with the your tank basically.
Yeah.
And what I think is this position is, well, it becomes pretty difficult for you to do reasonable amount of damage. Like we have decent follow damage from here, first of all, I think, and then also not able to follow up on that fight as well, like because we don't have that clear line of sight. So where we can be then, if we want to look to pressure on this point.
Um, Probably up on that bridge on the right.
Yeah, I think we could. So the bridge kind of like around this spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that can work. Also, this might work as well, I would say. Kind of, well, you're still creating this potential crossfire with your second DPS, for example. Your one DPS is here. You are also here. It's also a pretty nice angle, I think. But because this one is a little bit too open, that is my main concern with that. You don't have a corner which allows you to cut line of sight with the enemy like this. So that is the main reason. Yeah, you're creating like maybe a better crossfire, but there is no corner which you
I was
can.
thinking more like inside there.
Oh, it's inside. Oh, okay. Inside can work. I would say inside can work. Then, yeah. If this is,
Yeah.
if you pay attention to it, like, yeah, sure. I would say this is pretty decent. Just make sure you kite in a good way. If something happens, it should be fine. But yeah, that is the main idea. How you play this map? Well, it's honestly just about recognizing where the fight is gonna be. If your tank is maybe playing around this corner, then definitely this position would be good. This position where you are would be just fine because you can deal decent amount of damage under the bridge. You don't have this like big flow of damage as well. So this is something to look for. From
Yeah.
here, I think yeah, I think you're even with dynamites it becomes pretty challenging to like do things as well. Uh but yeah.
You somehow managed to get a pick through that little window.
Hmm. That's always nice. Yeah, but we can see the. I just want to see the amount of damage on the Mercy. So I think it did land it. Did land a shot as well. So it's like, if we look at it now, 100 and so she's around this HP, and then that is your shot right there. That was your shot.
Yeah.
So it was around 30 damage in her face. It's just not efficient damage for that exact reason. I think it was body shot of maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be probably. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, that is just not as efficient as if we could be in a slightly close range. Actually, from here you can also see the hot shots, for example, on the soldier.
Yeah. I think I hit him like 4 times to
Yeah,
finally kill him.
I think yeah, right there. That is a hot shot. See the HP going from like 160 kind of, so 120. Yeah, 120 and goes towards the 90, something like that. Oh wait, so I'm just curious. So what is the damage fall off exactly? Because I don't know the exactly like numbers. So from this range, it seems like because you do with the viper you deal 75 damage if I'm not mistaken. Give me a sec. Yeah, so it's a 75 damage max, and then 22 damage is a minimum when you doing body shot. So if for the headshot you can deal like 45 damage. Yeah, so that is how much damage you do. It seems like with the
Okay.
because of yeah, so it's not that much. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's still possible to get a pick. It's just definitely not the most efficient damage
Yeah.
from this spot. Okay, yeah, it's definitely gonna be challenging now. So that is the moment when your tank is dead. That is when you have to be more cautious about when to rotate, which you do. So that is good. Like in the previous examples in the other maps which you watched, we noticed how we've been over aggressive when your tank is dead. So that actually punished you several times. Here, I think we're playing pretty reasonable because your tank is dead now. You gotta be more passive, paying attention to angles as well. That is really good. Dynamites are fine. Okay. Yeah. Also, we're kiting now, which makes sense. Now your tank is looking to pressure. Your tank is alive now, which is good. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
I
Okay.
didn't reload.
Okay. Yeah. So. Hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking. This fight is pretty chaotic. But still, if we pay attention to our ultimate, yeah. Let's say, what do you think about your ultimate first of all? Is it good enough, or is that could be better? Like, what's your opinion?
It probably could be better, but I felt like that was a good spot to throw it because
Yeah.
I knew there was like quite a few of them on that side, and
Mm.
it could pressure them into my team.
Yeah. I think this ultimate's pretty decent. Maybe you can make it look a little bit better. I think it's still pretty decent. You're creating the crossfire with the ultimate as well. So your ultimate pushes these guys from one spot, and then potentially other members can follow up on that. So it's kind of started around here, yeah. When we're looking to do the pressure, you can look to capitalize on the same position which your Bob is pressuring. So your Bob is creating this like crossfire with you also, which is always nice. One thing which I would pay attention to though is, okay, so we're looking to do the dynamite here, and then after that, yeah, after that we kind of, hmm, because this is the interesting part.
Yeah, I didn't see the Bastion until too late, so
Mm-hmm.
it would have been like the difference just between one shot of me keeping my life and losing it. So if
Potentially,
I notice
yeah,
him,
it's a pretty small thing there, but that could make the difference potentially. I'm just thinking what we can do next as well, so it will be easier for us to deal with those situations. I'm just gonna write this down, and what we can look to discuss is then making sure you are contributing on the kill box. That is a concept which we can look to discuss. It's pretty helpful if you know where your kill box is and then pressure at the right time. You can also avoid this kind of situations from happening too. But that is for later. I'm just thinking because we don't have maybe like exactly enough time to do that. We can just do it on a Thursday. It's fine.
yeah.
Looking to discuss the kill box. Also, we still have team composition stuff, which we can look to go into a little bit more. Mm, we did discuss the angles, rotations, even we touched on that as well, so that is nice. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking that we can try to summarize this a little bit. So, what do we just watch? What do we got out of this review? What do we can work on? What do you think?
Um, I think I definitely need to work. Well, obviously there's the warm up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could definitely give that a go
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully hit more shots.
Sure.
Uh, but then also work on my dynamite mechanics and positioning,
Mm-hmm.
especially in some of these maps. I also need to watch my tank and what they're doing more.
Yeah, I think that is gonna be the biggest takeaway. We need to time pressure with our tank a little bit more. Obviously, when your tank is alive, you can look to capitalize on his attention. So when the tank is dead, then we need to look to kite a little bit more, and just understanding by looking at your tank where the fight is gonna be. Kind of if your tank is positioned in spawn, maybe make sure you have proper position, which allows you to follow up on the where your tank is aggressing. I think that is really really beneficial. Like we've watched multiple times. Also, yeah, with the kiting, obviously, it's also pretty
Yeah, a
pretty
lot of
pretty
times I
important.
struggle to take in a lot like a lot of the information.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I think it's just with there's a lot of information which you can read on the field and Overwatch is just kind of waste time in really first of all looking at where exactly your tank is. Then later we can maybe look for some additional factors as well, like looking to play around
Is that
certain
like
abilities.
is there like certain things that I should keep in my mind like all the time? Like
Um,
at the main focus?
for now, what we mentioned today, I would say. But again, when you look into practice, is make sure you do practice it step by step. The idea is that well, top of 100 players, they're not thinking about everything what they
Yeah.
do. They are just implementing the concepts, but they are implementing those kind of automatically because well, they did invest some time in making sure that they do those concepts automatically. It's just for us it's
So
kind of the
like
same. Mhm.
from when I played on console, I had two accounts in top 500 on console,
Mhm.
and I noticed uh, from like when I first started getting there, the games were so much different, and you could learn so much more from those higher elo games. That when I did end up playing on Smurf accounts, it was really noticeable that just the things that came natural were
Mhm. Yeah.
so like
Mhm.
ingrained. Whereas, obviously, since moving to PC, it's a whole different ball game. First of all, everyone aims very well. You can't on console. You could run out in front of widows and uh, quite often
Yeah.
not get headshot.
Yeah, there's definitely a much bigger skill ceiling in a PC compared to the console. I would say you're totally right. Yeah, there are multiple things you want to look for. For now, just make sure you practice everything step by step, invest some amount of time, and then later once you do the certain concepts automatically, you also work on something else. It's just step by step. Really, it takes time, obviously, but for now, your thought process is gonna be like, first of all, I think look into of work on the timings of the engagements, disengage depending on again like the timings where your tank is. So that is gonna be really crucial. Also remember playing against one-shot characters. We never want to double peak from the same position as well. Let's look to
Yeah.
also maintain the focus on that too.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think this is seems like that's all for today. But let's just see how the progress is gonna be. We also can do the session on Thursday. We can do the live session too. See how
Yeah.
we are implementing the concepts. But yeah, do you have any additional questions or everything's clear?
I think everything's pretty clear. I'm looking forward to the stream session, so I can always watch it back and
Oh yeah, sure, sure. I also, if you want me to, because I still recording the sessions, I can eventually send this one to you as well. I just gonna